So Barnes & Noble made the choice to have a 50% off hardcover sale, and some of my family made the choice to give me money for Christmas. So you can see where this is going. Nimoy's just going to have to be in this video because he's clingy. Yeah, he's clingy. And if you hear weird noises, it's because the cat's got like a metric ton of cat toys for Christmas, and they are scattered all over the library and the living room. So they are occupied. This video is going to show you some of the things I got for Christmas that are book related. And I'm going to show you all the books that I bought from Barnes & Noble yesterday, because like I said, I got money for Christmas, and they had a sale. It worked out well that the local Barnes & Noble isn't a really frequented one. So they still had a lot of stock of things that I was interested in. So if you look behind me, this is actually some stuff my husband got me for Christmas. It's two like little wooden organizers for like my knickknacks that are on my shelves. I'm looking forward to using because it's getting to be a lot. Like, it was cute, but now it's like I can't see everything, and it makes me nervous, and I want to be able to look at all my cute little doodads. So I'm going to take some of them off and put them on here. Also, I collect pocket watches, so I can use this to display the pocket watches. He also got me this because I love Spider-Man, and that factors into some of the other gifts I got. I didn't get a lot of, again, if you see me swatting, there's a cat trying to eat the Christmas tree. This is my life with these chaotic animals. I didn't get a lot of books for Christmas from people, mainly because of shipping. And that was the big issue with my husband, is that shipping this year, it would have been well after Christmas before anything came in that I asked for, which is fine. I understand that completely. So that means I have to buy some stuff myself, obviously, because I need more books. Where am I going to put them? I don't know. That was a good question my husband asked yesterday, and I still don't quite know. Actually, no, half the ones I bought yesterday I know exactly where they're going, and there's space for them because I planned for it. But anyway, let's look at what I got for Christmas, and then we'll look at the books that I bought yesterday. So for Christmas, my husband got me The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood in a leather-bound, silver gilded edges. I think it's got a bookmark, like fancy edition of this, and I only have like 2 editions of Handmaid's Tale. I have the really small mass market paperback, and I have the version that I had to read for class. I don't even think I have the cover that matches the Testaments. So this was really cool. We got this from Second and Charles back in October, and I just had him keep it from me and wrap it. I like it because it kind of is like a Bible, like the soft, flimsy leather, and then like the gilded edges are really thin. Like, this feels like a Bible, which, when you know, like, the ties to religious fundamentalism in this book, it makes it kind of cool. So I'm looking forward to displaying this one. That's really neat. The other 2 book-related things that I got were from my mom. She got me a Spider-Man scratch activity, and she got me the Entertainment Ultimate Guide to Spider-Man, because I have, as of today, seen Spider-Man No Way Home 3 times, because I'm obsessed. And every time I tell people that, I'm not kidding, I really am. But it's got a bunch of fun facts and stuff about Spider-Man. I have been obsessed with Spider-Man since Tobey Maguire, so this is like nothing new for her to get me Spider-Man stuff for Christmas. But I'm really excited. I got some really fun little things to do for like activities and some fun things to read. And then I bought a lot yesterday, so let's look at that. I tried to separate the stacks into related things, but I didn't do a really good job. I'll just explain what they are when I get to them. The first stack we're going to look at are books that I've kind of wanted for a while, and finally got my hands on. They've been like in a wish list or something all year, or they're ones I just don't have copies of. Like, this first one is My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. I did not have a physical copy of this book, but I really, really wanted one. And so it caught me, like, as I was going out. Like, I had my whole basket full of books, and I looked on their wall of new releases and saw it, and I was like, well, I think I need that. So My Heart is a Chainsaw is one of my favorite books of the year. It is one of the best horror books I've read in a while, and so I'm glad I have a copy of it for my shelf. The second sort of normal book I picked up was The Last House on Needless Street. I've been meaning to read that this year, and I know I have access to it on audiobook. I get it. I know. But it was there. It was half off. and I kind of wanted a hard copy of it. I don't know how to explain it. If it hadn't been so well received and people liked it so much, I probably wouldn't have. But I am excited to have it now. The next one I got has been on my wish list for my classroom library, actually, but I figured I can get it and then I can put it in the library. It is Monster, She Wrote, The Women Who Pioneered Horror and Speculative Fiction, hardcover. I just like the illustration on the front. Is really cool. Monster, She Wrote. And this is just basically how these women created the genre that we love of horror and science fiction and speculative fiction. And I'm really interested in reading it because I don't pick up a lot of nonfiction for fun, and so I think this will be really good for me to read. And once I read it, enjoy it, I can put it in my classroom library. The next book I got has actually been on my TBR for a long time. It's been on my Amazon wish list for a long time. So long, in fact, I've kind of forgotten what it's about, but I'm still interested enough that I picked it up when I saw it, and that is Conjure Women by Afria Atakora. It is like multi-generational story about these women who heal and have healing properties. It's historical fiction. I picked it up, and I think I really was interested because the idea of a conjure woman is a very like southern thing, and there's a lot of folklore around conjure women. And I read some of the Conjure Woman stories by Charles Chestnut, who is a North Carolina writer. And so it was just interesting to me to read like a newer novel about conjure women, and them more specifically instead of as a passing role in another story. Last but not least, I did visit the YA section. I did, peruse the YA section. And I got Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez because I had thought about getting this for a while now. And you know what? I saw it on Instagram. Gina got it for her book haul, and I'm like, I need to get like that. And they happen to have one copy left. So I have no excuse not to read it now. I always loved this cover, and I love that it's printed in this beautiful orange coral color you don't see a lot. It makes it very unique. And I'm excited to read it. Don't know when I'll get a chance to read it, but I have it anyway. This next section can be called the sure, why not section, because a lot of it's stuff that, did you need it? Probably not, but it's Christmas, so buy it for yourself. Like this first one. It is a Chiltern edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray. I love these editions. I have actually the Frankenstein, Christmas Carol, and Pride and Prejudice version of this in my wish list on Book Depository. That's the cat. Because I think they're so beautiful. They're just this like shiny journal style book. They have gold foil edges. They have bookmarks. And they're just so gosh darn gorgeous. And I only had like 2 ugly copies of The Picture of Dorian Gray, and Dorian would not approve. So this is what he gets now, is this beautiful floral book that I can display. And speaking of second covers of books I don't need, I also got this cover of Frankenstein. That's right, I got this huge like pop art version of Frankenstein. I'm so excited. This is a, oh gosh, it had the edition on it. It's a Penguin Random House book. Can you hear that? That's the cat. They know. They can sense when I'm filming. And they just know. Anyway, I just like the pop art version. It has, if I cannot inspire love, I will cause fear, written on the back, because it's front, back. I love this. It's going to look so great on my shelf. And they only had 1 copy of it, so of course I grabbed it. The next thing I got is, it's for me, but it's also sort of for my husband, because he seemed like he would be interested in being able to read this. And it is Junji Ito's Romina, which is about the planet named after a girl named Romina, because her father finds it, names it after her, and then it starts moving toward our planet. Turns out it is sentient, and it is coming to eat us. And it is very horrific what people decide to do when they're confronted with like their own mortality, the choices they think will save them. Because full disclosure, I have read this before in like piecemeal on the computer, but I'm really excited I have it in the bind up. I can, look at the horrific Junji Ito art, and Stephen may pick it up because it's going to be a little bit easier for him to follow along and read. Might be a quick read, but I'm really excited to own this. They did not have a lot of Junji Ito there, because I did look for Frankenstein. I really wanted that edition, but they didn't have it. The only other one that kind of slipped from my grasp was Iron Widow. they didn't have any more in stock. So, you know, you win a few, you lose a lot. The last in the sure why not pile is volume 1 of Lore Olympus, and they did have the like exclusive edition, which I think is gorgeous. I have literally never read this webtoon ever, and I'm excited about that because it means I don't really know a lot. Like, people talk about it and they make art for it and they make TikToks about it, and I still don't know anything about the plot, and I enjoy that because I like a surprise. So I'll probably pick that up sooner rather than later, because I know I can get through it. It's a chunk, but I can get through it quicker than if I picked up a novel. Last but certainly not least, one of my most pressing questions when it was first announced that there was going to be a 50% off hardcovers was, okay, but does it count the Penguin Clothbound Classics? And my answer was yes, it does. So boy, did I clean up yesterday. So before I start showing you these, if you do not know what the gorgeous Penguin Clothbound Classics look like, you need to look up images of them. They are these like just beautiful clothbound books. They come with bookmarks, and they have sort of a repeating design usually on the front. It's very simple. It's very sleek. I have 2 of them. I have Pride and Prejudice and Tenet of Whitefield Hall. I got those at at thrift stores for like no money because they're pretty expensive. I mean, these are like $20+ books because they're all hardcovers anyway, but these are really nice, beautiful hardcovers. And I have a clothbound and leather bookshelf. I have a whole section of my bookshelf on the main shelf that's just clothbound and leather books because they're a little heavier, so I put them in the middle. And I've wanted certain books in this series for a long time. I did not get some of my most wanted because they didn't have them. They only had a few, but I did get enough that I feel pretty good about things. And I got a lot of the ones I did like, so that's fine. The first one I'm going to show you is Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. This is a really good classic. It's kind of hard to get into, but it is really good. The cover on this one is a muted brown, and it has yellow bees on it. It's absolutely gorgeous. And pages are bright yellow, and it has a yellow bookmark. So that is the first one I got. The next one I got is actually part of a box set, and I asked for the box set for Christmas, but I'll probably take that out of my wish list now and just put the individual books, because there's no point in getting the box set if I have all the books. And they didn't have the one I specifically wanted by this author, but that is okay. This one is also really cool, and I also wanted this eventually, and that is Charles Dickens' Oliver Twist. This one is a white cover, and it has blue clocks on it. I will admit it has been a while since I've read or had anything to do with Oliver Twist, and I don't get the clock thing, but it's a cool design anyway. It looks really neat. My most anticipated of this one is obviously like A Christmas Carol. I want A Christmas Carol. It's white and it has snowflakes on it. But hopefully I can find that at some point. This is the only one of Charles Dickens I think they had A Tale of Two Cities too, but I did not pick it up. But I'm looking forward to getting all of Charles Dickens at some point. But this is Oliver Twist. The next one I got is also part of a box set that I've asked for and that I already have one by that author, and it is Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen. This one is also kind of a muted gray-brown color with pink keys on it. I just don't have a copy of Northanger Abbey, so I figured I would get this one rather than, I think they had Mansfield Park available as well. And look at me, limiting myself to like one per anticipated section. So I did good. I reined myself in, whether I wanted to or not. But that was Northanger Abbey. Again, kind of a gray with the pink keys on it. I did stick more in the same color palette for this one. Some of these books are like bright colors, like bright blues and greens and oranges and yellows. And I don't know, it just wasn't feeling right about it. They had a copy of the Aeneid. It was bright yellow, and it had like little black soldiers on it, like little like a Grecian urn. It looked like little soldiers on that. But it was just too bright for that shelf. I mean, that shelf is very muted already. I mean, it's rainbow, but it's a serious rainbow. So the next two books I got are also kind of dark. So it is what it is. This is what I ended up with, but I'm still excited that I got them. So this is the next one. It is Dracula by Braum Stoker. And this one has, like, I think they're flowers. I think they're supposed to be some kind of flower or some kind of plant on it. They look really neat. and they are in just like a darker gray black than the actual book itself. I love that. It looks so cool. And then the very last one, I'm so excited they had this one. It's gorgeous. It's perfect. I didn't need it, but I got it anyway. It is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This one also is sort of a light gray, more blue-toned gray color, and it has these dark blue anatomical hearts on it. It's beautiful. It has the same quote on the back little page thing. It says, "I will revenge my injuries. If I cannot inspire love, I will cause fear," which is a great way to live. I don't think any of the other ones came with the little paper on the back. This one is probably in the best condition of the group. But it's so pretty. It's so pretty, and I'm so glad I own it. This is on my wish list for Christmas, so being able to buy it was nice. But like I said, a lot of the books I got were in the gray and brown family, whereas they have really bright books. The other two I have are like gold and green, so they can be kind of muted, or they can be really bright. I clearly did not go for the bright ones this time. But that is my collection. That is what I got from Barnes & Noble. I'm excited about the haul. I think it was really good. It was successful considering. We got there within like 30 minutes of them opening, and by the time we left, the store was very full, and people were just like filling up baskets. I did limit myself to one basket, and even though my husband said we could go back after we went and watched Spider-Man, we were both kind of ready to go home, and I didn't need to spend any more money. So I'm going to look at putting these on my shelf today, because like I said, all these beautiful Clothbounds, they go directly on my shelf. It's the ones that I haven't read yet, like Perfect on Paper and Conjure Woman and House on Needless Street. I don't really have anywhere for those to go right now, so I've got to find somewhere for them to live until I can read them, as if I don't have 2 whole rolling carts full of books that don't have anywhere to live in this library. And I just don't have time. Those will live there for 2 months. Those will live there until spring break. And some of them may live there until summer break, because I just don't have time. But anyway, that was my haul. That's what I got for Christmas. Please tell me what like your favorite books were that you got for Christmas this year, or book related things. Oh, I also got this really neat thing. Wait, my cousin Kristen works in like design. Like she has works for a design company that puts logos on vehicles and windows and stuff. And she got me this super cool journal. It's called Rare Form, and it's made out of old billboard vinyl. Like they take the vinyl down and clean it, and she got this one for me because it looks like it has an S on it. Like it's a cash symbol. It looks like it has an S on it, and it's a really nice like journal. So that's super exciting. Really excited to write down video ideas and maybe like school stuff in that. So that was book related. So yeah, tell me what some of your favorite like book related things were if you didn't get books. Or what you're planning to get yourself, because maybe you didn't get it for Christmas like me, and you're like, I'll do it myself. But this has been the video. I'm going to go pay attention to my pets now, because they are apparently attention starved. Bye. Ignore everything I said in the previous part of this video, because I'm a little book gremlin, and I went back and bought more books. Okay, so as many of you may know, Barnes & Noble extended their sale. So, of course, I had to go back and get more books. But also, I went to other places that sell books and fell victim to the books they had there. So I'm going to show you the last, hopefully, of the books I bought myself for Christmas. But I did buy some books for my classroom today, so I wasn't completely selfish. But even if I was, I deserve it. I'm going to chase the serotonin while I can get it. So here, let me show you what I got. Alright, obviously, we went to Enjoy because we were in town. Me and my mom, we went to, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my post. We went to Books and Beans. It was beautiful. But we went to Enjoy because we were in town, so it made sense. So I got a couple of books at Enjoy. Are you really going to help me do this? You're all in your way. You show it. You hold it up for everybody. Show them I got The Princess Bride. I got The Princess Bride. It's one of my favorite books. And I don't have a little mass market paperback of it, so this is nice to have. It's really cute. I got C.S. Lewis's Till We Have Faces. I do have another edition of this, but this is a really good book. I think I'm going to put it in my classroom library. I found Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which is actually the basis for the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, which is just a traumatic movie. But I'm interested to read the book. And last but not least, for my classroom library, I got We Were Liars, because this is kind of a big thing on Book Talk, or at least it was a couple months ago, and I didn't have a copy, and I don't think there were any in the classroom library. The school library, I don't think they had any, so there's at least one. I know. Can you tell he's attention starved? No one ever gives him any love in this house. He doesn't get any attention, ever. Can I please finish? I've got like 80 books to show. And then I will love you, I promise. Okay? Go lay down. You sit. You're so handsome. Anyway, that was Enjoy. There weren't that many. I had just gone last Monday, so it kind of been picked through. And there's still some good ones there, but they're books that I already own. You just really want me to start this video, huh? But I went to a place called Small Shops in the same town. It's the first of its kind. It's sort of like a mini mall inside an old food line. There's a trade it there, but you can rent spaces and sell stuff that you've made or that you want to sell, and there's a used bookstore there. So like right in the front, there's a little section where this man and his wife basically run a bookstore. So they have a couple of interesting books. Don't fall, bud. They have a couple of interesting books there. They have a lot of old and fancy hardcovers that are kind of expensive for what they are. But they did have some fun ones. I found The Pearl Thief by Elizabeth Ween. And this is a prequel to Codename Verity that I didn't know existed. So obviously I needed to own this. They had Bad Call by Stephen Wallenfels, which has been on a wish list of mine for a while. It was so weird that they had this here. They have multiple copies of both those books, actually. And then Mere Christianity. I just like this cover. It matches my cover of the Screw Tape Letters, so I thought that was neat. And I've never read this, but I do like C.S. Lewis's writing. Obviously, I bought Till We Have Faces, and that's C.S. Lewis as well. And that's what I bought yesterday. And then I found out that Barnes & Noble was extending their sale. So today, I got my stupid little self in my car and drove to stupid little Greenville and went to stupid little Barnes & Noble and bought stupid little books. And I'm really happy about it. But again, just don't pay attention to what I was saying the other day, because I went back and got all these books. It is what it is. Obviously, I'm going to start with the books that aren't the Penguin Clothbound Classics, because we know why I went. I got Ghostwood Song, which I've been looking at for a while, and I've been trying to get from the library as like an audio book, or get from Book Outlet or somewhere that sells it cheap online. But they had half off hardcover. This is like a Southern Gothic fabulism story where this girl can speak to the dead by playing her dead dad's fiddle. And that's all I know about it. It's all I want to know about it. I have heard good things about it, so I'm excited. The next book I was really excited they had, because it said they didn't when I looked it up online. But then they did. It's Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. And this kind of just come out. And I'm really excited. It's a retelling of... something. Oh gosh, The Goose Girl. It's a retelling of The Goose Girl, but it's kind of like unlikable protagonist, bad guy thing. I'm really looking forward to reading it. It has a great cover. And then the Penguin Clothbound Classics that I got were... I got the Sonnets and A Lover's Complaint by William Shakespeare. It's this beautiful burgundy with orange. I got the Aeneid, which is bright yellow with these little soldiers on them. And I got Madame Bovary because it's purple with these pink flowers. And they actually had two more editions there that had them in orange. Like the flowers were bright orange, like this one. And I just like this kind of pink better. But I don't have a lot of purple books on my rainbow clothbound and leather shelf, so that's why I got this one. But those are the only ones I got at Barnes & Noble. They had other books. I could have cleaned them out of Penguin Clothbound Classics, but I didn't. I resisted, and I'll just go back and I'll kind of complete my collection as we go. Then I got lunch, and I was going to go home. I was going to be good. And I remember David's Used Books is in town, and I did a last-minute dip into the parking lot, and I ended up buying quite a few books at David's. So someone had come in like that day and brought The Hate You Give, this beautiful cover of The Hate You Give. This actually matches the cover of On the Come Up, which I got from a thrift store last week, 2 weeks ago. And, you know, the hot pink side that says Thug. And I love this. And they brought a bunch of them. So I was able to get 4 of them I didn't want to clean them completely out because it felt bad to wipe them out of these books. But this will be good in case kids want to do like a group read in my class, because they read this book in middle school. A lot of my kids did, but they can reread it with a different like mindset as a group read in high school. I also got 2 copies of The Secret Life of Bees. I already have a copy of this in my classroom, and I think the school library may have a copy or 2, but this is another good one for like a book club or group read, because this is a very heavy themed book, and it's beautifully written. And then last but not least, I got 2 more copies of The House on Mango Street. That'll mean I have 3 copies total in my classroom, and that's not including the library. So again, I want to start stocking up on books that I think kids could do as book clubs. That way they can hold each other accountable when they do literature circles and we do independent reading. It's one thing to read independently. It's another thing to keep up with a buddy that's reading it and making sure you're holding each other accountable. The last books that I got from David's are The Beguiled, which is about these women who save a soldier during like the Civil War, and it's some chaos. I remember seeing the trailer with all these women in it and thinking it was very dramatic, and I'm into that. I got The Book Woman of Troublesome Creek, which I've had on a wish list for a while, and I've just never gotten it. It's about a woman who, she sells books, right? Yeah, it's inspired by the blue-skinned people of Kentucky, so it's interesting. Oh, yeah, I actually got 4 more. Okay. I got The Wife Upstairs, which like just came out, and I'm really excited about owning this. I don't know when I'll get around to reading it. And Universal Harvester, which I have seen people talk about, and I know I've seen somebody talk about it on BookTube. But I can't remember who. I can't remember if they liked it, but it's short enough that I don't feel bad about getting it. Also, the cover is amazing, so I had to. But that's it. That's it. That's all. That's all. It's done now. I've spent the money. I've gotten the books, and they're all in here. So when my husband asked, well, where are you going to put the books? They're all in the library. They might not all be on the shelves in the library, but they're all in the library. And I don't need the kind of negativity about that. I like that I have books, and I have the ability to buy books, and I'm excited about the ones I get to take to school with me on Monday. I'm sort of excited about school on Tuesday. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to ride this high as long as I can. I'll probably edit this video now and then film a couple others, because I don't want to have to be filming on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then school starts next week. So it's fun, but it's like, wow. All right, so bless you. I'm going to go now. This is the actual ending of the video. I'm not going to buy any more books. I hope you enjoyed this and you enjoyed seeing my haul. Let me know if you bought anything from Barnes & Noble, if you found like a really good one. A lot of people have been finding some really good books during this sale, and I'm lucky that I'm in a place where not a lot of people go to bookstores, so I was able to kind of clean up with those Penguin Clothbound classics. But anyway, let me know what you got, or what you were hoping to get that maybe you didn't, and I send you all the positive vibes and good energy that you will find what you were looking for next time. All right, that's it. Bye. Give me a second. Hey, quit.
Oh.
God, y'all are chaotic today. This is ridiculous. Now, you broke your teeth chewing on a tree. Why would you want to do that more? All right, sit. Oh my God. Why?